The news from ITN.
Britain's first and longest-running pirate radio station, Radio Caroline, has been shut down following a raid by Dutch telecommunication authorities. Station staff say fighting broke out and their equipment was smashed when the Dutch boarded the ship.
Radio Caroline reported fighting between crew members and Dutch officials and stayed on air to keep listeners informed. Then they said the crew had been overpowered and the Dutch were about to end 25 years broadcasting from the North Sea.
We've got a further news update for you. Here's Dave Richards.
Yes, the situation is that representatives from the Dutch government and Coast Guard are on board. Their intention is, in fact, to take various broadcast equipment.
The Dutch claimed Caroline's broadcasts were interfering with their own transmissions. Caroline's management denied that and accused them of piracy.
Now, we're a foreign registered ship. We're in international waters, so they have no right to board us whatsoever. So our captain and chief engineer attempted to prevent this illegal boarding, and I understand they've been badly beaten.
Tonight, Caroline's believed to be still in position off Essex, the crew's still on board, but the station silent.
South African...
5:05.
Had been aboard the pirate radio ship Radio Caroline and removed its transmitter. A number of European broadcasters and some emergency services have complained that Radio Caroline has been using unauthorized frequencies which interfere with their transmissions. In London, a Department of Trade and Industry spokesman said they supported the Dutch action.
Banned organisations planned public rallies and protests. Kevin Dunn, ITN, Johannesburg.
Britain's oldest and most famous pirate radio station, Radio Caroline, has been silenced after its ship was boarded by Dutch authorities in the North Sea.
Tonight, Radio Caroline is silent. The Ross Revenge she broadcasts from marooned in international waters off Essex, a Dutch tug alongside. Also alongside, a ship chartered by the British government, which has been watching today's developments but not taking part. There was drama as the Dutch went aboard, but Caroline kept broadcasting.
We've got a further news update for you. Here's Dave Richards.
Yes, the situation is that representatives from the Dutch government and Coast Guard are on board. Their intention is, in fact, to take various broadcast equipment.
The station's had its troubles before. A previous ship actually sunk. But tonight, the man who founded Caroline 25 years ago denied Dutch claims that they were acting within international law.
Every captain on every ship all over the world will know they're talking absolute nonsense. If you board a ship in international waters, you are committing an act of piracy. But there's no question about that.
The Dutch said Caroline had to be silenced because it was interfering with legal frequencies and maritime emergency services. And they also denied claims that they had forced their way on deck. Tonight, the Ross Revenge is still at her familiar anchorage, most of her crew still on board, promising that no one has heard the last from Radio Caroline.
Scotland Yard is sending a report to the London to protest at the closure of the radio ship, which began broadcasting off the Essex coast 25 years ago. David Jennings reports.
It was 4 weeks ago that Dutch officials raided the station at its moorings in international waters off Kent. The marchers took a petition to the Department of Trade to protest at the involvement of a British surveillance ship, then to Lambeth Pier. Caroline fans brought food and records for the crew still on the silenced radio ship. Another sign perhaps of a return to the air, John Birch of the Caroline movement.
Radio Caroline will definitely return. Its ship is still at anchor, its ship is still at least in one piece, even though the broadcasting equipment has been badly damaged. And Caroline has proven time and time again over the last 25 years, it's been there for a quarter of a century, I'm pretty certain it'll be there for a long time yet.